Hello everyone, myself Dr. Jyoshna, Head of MBA Department. Today let us explore the topic Performance Management System from Annual Appraisal to Continuous Improvement using OKRs. So before going to the concept, let me ask you a thought-provoking question. So for example, if a cricket coach who is giving the feedback to the player after completion of the tournament will be better, or do you feel getting frequent feedback to the player before the tournament will be better? So probably no, right? So getting the feedback during the practice will be always helps the player to know the feedback, to know their strengths and weakness. So wherever the improvement is required, immediately the player may focus on that. So the same principle is applicable even in the organization also. So this transformation has been implemented across the world in the field of performance management system. Companies like Adobe, Microsoft, Intel and many other companies have successfully implemented this performance management system in the organization with the framework of objectives and key results. So before going to the topic, so I want to explain you a theme about what gets measured, gets managed. So this is a quotation given by Peter Drucker. So according to Peter, he emphasized that whatever the performance we can able to measure will have strong impact on the employee performance. So and at the same time he is saying that the management or the organizations which are unable to measure the employees' performance, which are unable to give the frequent feedback to the employees' performance, so they are going to enter into the loss position. So he is stressing that it is very important for all the organizations to work in this dynamic environment to go for giving frequent feedback. So let us begin with the opening questions like, so do you think giving performance feedback for the employees yearly once will really help the employees? So why do employees need continuous feedback? How can organizations improve performance continuously? And what is the role of OKRs in the continuous performance management? So by this session, the outcomes for you will be like, so you can able to understand the concept of what is called as continuous performance management. What do you mean by objectives and key results? So how this OKR framework is really going to help the performance management system? What is the necessity of giving frequent feedback for the employees, and how this continuous performance management system may really help the organization for its growth and development? So coming to the meaning of performance management system, it is nothing but which is an ongoing practice and which requires frequent planning, monitoring and evaluation by the managers about the concerned employees, so that there will be continuous interaction between the employees and manager, where they can exchange the goals, where they can exchange the opinions about the employees' feedback and the expectations of the management. So coming to the traditional PMS, so the major criticism where exists is in traditional performance management system, so they are going to provide the feedback yearly once. So continuously making mistakes for 11 months and identifying that in the 12th month, so which is of no use, is it right? So that was the main drawback of traditional PMS. So where there emerged a need for continuous performance management, and some of the other drawbacks may be like it may conduct once a year, poor adaptability to the change because the employees are not getting the frequent feedback, so they are unable to adapt, they are unable to learn the new technologies, and the entire feedback is based on the past, which is not about the present, and it is having delayed feedback where there will be manual and personal bias, low employee engagement, no real-time course action. So ultimately the result may be like performance discussions happen too late to improve the outcomes. So do you think, is there any need for continuous performance management? Yes, right? So there is a strong need for continuous performance management in this dynamic business world. right? So without this, so no employee or no manager, they can't able to understand what is happening in the organization, how the employees are performing, whether their efforts are really contributing to the organizational objectives. So we can say that there is a strong need for giving regular feedback for the employees, continuous monitoring by the management, and sharing the valuable feedback. So here in the feedback should include both about the pros and cons of employee strengths. So one of the MNC, we can say like Microsoft, so which got successful results after implementing continuous performance management practices in the organization. So after implementing this framework in the organization, so they have seen many benefits, like so they have gone for frequent check-ins about the employee performance. They can able to track the real-time employees performance. So immediately after finding the employees who are suffering with the lacking of skills, they immediately plan for training programs, learning programs. So with the help of the coaches, they have given the valuable guidelines, and so that they can able to make the data-driven decisions. Now coming to the concept of OKRs. So here O stands for objectives, KR stands for key results. So objectives are nothing but so the desired outcomes, what the company or what the management is expecting, whereas the key results are nothing but how our success is going to be measured, what factors we are going to consider in order to measure our success. So combinedly we can call them like OKRs. Say for example, the objective may be like to improve the customer satisfaction. Then how we can measure the objective, how we can measure whether we got the successful results or not. So for example, earlier the customer satisfaction may be like 60, but after that we set the target for each and every employee that they should maintain, they should bring at least 80% of customer satisfaction. Now the result may be like 90. Now we can identify the gap, right? So through this, we can able to understand whether the employees are able to reach the given targets, whether they are able to reach the given objectives. So coming to the origin of OKRs, so Intel, one of the other greatest MNC, so Intel has introduced the concept of objectives and key results. So with the help of Andy Grove at Intel company, so with that they have ensured the clear focus and accountability of the employees, not only the employees, even the management also. And it has got shifted the performance discussions just from ratings to measurable results. So in traditional PMS, they are just focusing on ratings. So they were not that much bothered about how to improve the employees' performance. So they were just concerned about so how we can evaluate the employee, so what kind of feedback we can give. So there ends the process. Whereas in continuous performance management, they are not just evaluating the performance, they are continuously striving to improve the employees' performance individually, then as a team, then as per the organizational requirements. So the final impact may be like faster execution and clear strategic priorities. So the other companies which are using this kind of framework, OKR framework, which will really help in successful implementation of continuous performance management is Google. So the other companies we can call like Adobe also successfully implemented this kind of framework. So whereas the first company is Google that popularized the concept of OKRs in the year 1999. So this framework helping the organization so by creating a proper alignment between the company requirements with the team and ultimately with the individual goals. So these OKRs should be always transparent and visible across the teams. So the impact will be like high alignment of the goals between the organization, department and the individuals. So OKRs as a foundation of PMS. So let us see what is the role of OKRs in different stages of performance management system. So coming to the first step, performance planning. So as we know, planning is nothing but where we are making our decisions in advance. So here it may be particularly about OKRs replace the static goals with the dynamic aligned objectives of the organization. And the second step is performance monitoring. So once the management sets the objectives to the individuals, to the team, and it should be monitored regularly by the management. So once the monitoring was done, the immediate duty of the manager in this continuous performance management system is to share the feedback to the employees. Then only the system can enable the employee to identify the areas of improvement so that they can able to rectify that immediately. And third step is performance review, and followed by performance feedback and development. Suppose if the feedback has some kind of negatives, so it will be followed by continuous learning for the employees, providing valuable coaching so that they can able to ensure the development of the skills and knowledge of the employee. So this is a sample OKR dashboard we can see. So by seeing this dashboard, you can able to understand what is the concept of objectives and key results, how this OKR concept may really helping in successful implementation of continuous PMS. So these are all the different employees. Say for example, Anita, who is working in HR department, the objective may be to improve employee engagement. And the key results we can able to measure. So we said objectives are nothing but the desired outcomes, and the key results are nothing but the factors through which we are going to measure the results, right? So here the target we given for Anita is 80%. So what is the target? To improve the employee engagement as she is working in the department HR. Her objective, her target is nothing but to improve the employee engagement to the target of 80%. But what is the actual? She achieved only 75% of the target. So for calculating the OKR score formula, we are having actual divided by target into 100. So the OKR score she got was 94% for the first quarter. So by doing like this, immediately we can able to identify whether the employee is able to achieve the given target or not. If not, immediately we can able to find out the reasons, we can able to rectify that so that we can ensure that particular employee is continuously able to improve the performance. So this will happen, this is happening for every quarter. Quarter in the sense, for every 3 months, the organization is conducting this kind of appraisal. So which will help both the employees and the management. In the same way, so we can take the second example, Ravi, who is working in marketing department, and the objective is to increase the brand reach. And the results may be checked in the form of campaigning leads. How many leads Ravi can able to reach? So the target given is 500 and the actuals. So the number of leads the person can able to create was 420 and the OKR score was 84. So which is a good performance, right? So at these conditions we need not to take any kind of actions. So we are having other examples also. Okay. Then coming to the case study, let us understand the concept by going through the real case study. So this case study is from the company Adobe. So who got success after implementing the system called continuous performance management with the help of OKRs. So before 2012, up to that they have followed only the traditional performance management system in the organization. Through that they have faced many issues like delayed feedback, employee dissatisfaction with ratings, limited focus on development, time consuming for completing the appraisal process. So because of all these, what is happening? Anxiety has been created in the minds of employee, and they were much bothered about the ratings. So they are completely forgetting about the improvements, but they are focusing about the ratings, what kind of ratings they may get, because the ratings will obviously decide the increments. So they have this kind of traditional PMS has created lot of disturbances in the ADOB. So in order to avoid these kind of issues, ADOB has decided to implement continuous PMS in the organization. So in 2012, ADOB replaced annual appraisals with a check-in system that focused on regular manager-employee discussions, continuous feedback and coaching, goal setting and progress reviews. So with this, what happened? They have achieved the successful results, like, so they can able to improve the employee engagement. So what do you mean by employee engagement? Where the employees can actually participate in the work, where they can show more enthusiasm towards the work, towards the completion of the work. So that kind of employee engagement they can able to achieve. So better communication between managers and employees has increased, because frequently either 3 months or within a month also, the manager used to share the feedback for the employees about their performance. So immediately what is going to happen? The same thing the employee is also able to share with the managers. So that kind of communication is going to increase. Through that communication, there will be better relationship also. There will be the between the manager and employee. So it has reduced the employee turnover also. So what do you mean by employee turnover? It's nothing but where we can able to retain maximum number of employees within the organization with us. So when the employees will be with us, when they are happy. So when they are happy, so when they are having good promotions, when the work culture is good for them. So all these things will be done only through successful implementation of performance management system. And the other important result they got, like increased focus on growth and performance improvement. So through this, what you can able to learn, continuous feedback and clear goals help employees perform better than annual performance reviews alone. So coming to the discussion question, would continuous feedback be more effective than annual appraisals in improving employee performance? Why? So this is the discussion question for you. So there is lot of scope for performance management system in the organization. So because of continuous changes, rapid changes that are happening in the business environment, so there is lot of scope for implementing PMS in all the organizations. So there is a drastic shift from ratings to insights, from manager driven to data driven decisions, personalized learning and development paths. PMS becomes a strategic tool for talent growth, retention and business success. So coming to the major key takeaways of our today's session is like, PMS is a continuous process, so that involves the functions like planning, monitoring, evaluating and improving employee performance. Traditional annual appraisals focus on past performance and provide delayed feedback. Continuous PMS emphasizes regular feedback, coaching and real-time performance improvement. So OKRs provide a structured framework for setting measurable goals and tracking progress. So always we should remember, like, so the goal should be transparent to the employees and it should be always smart in nature. Integrating OKRs with PMS enhances goal alignment, accountability and organizational performance. So the organizations which are good at adapting this kind of continuous PMS are better equipped with the dynamic business world. So let us end our session with other theme like continuous improvement is better than delayed perfection. So what do you think about this? So do you think making or rectifying the negatives after getting the final results will be good? No, right? So continuous improvement is always better than the delayed perfection. So emphasized by Mark Twain. So finally, the conclusion. So traditional PMS is no more going to help the organizations which want to play in the global market. OKR shifts PMS from annual evaluation to continuous alignment and execution. The integrated OKR based PMS ensures transparency, alignment and continuous feedback. Thus PMS evolves from performance measurement to performance enablement. Thank you all.